Hello, how are you? Good, doing good.
They're all retired. Because you're certified liaison. We all had
Jeff, how you doing? No, but you can have mine. There might not be any. If there would be, they'd be on the podium. No, you're good. If there's none up there, you can. Not much on there. Right. Yeah. Oh, the public speaking. Is that what you were wondering?
was my smile over.
Yeah, right. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Hey.
Jeff Gillen. Oh, I don't know.
That's who it looks like. And, I don't know his name. He was talking to Greg. How long you worked there? Because my mom worked for season.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps ringing. Just do me a favor and be nice.
Good evening, everyone. Could everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, remain standing for a short invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Dear Lord, as we gather this evening, we thank you for this wonderful community that we live in. We thank you for the privilege that it is to serve on these boards, and we ask for your strength, courage, and wisdom in all of our decisions. In your name we pray. Amen. We're going to call to order the Council and Advisory Board meeting. This is a public meeting, not a public hearing, and we're going to start out with, let's start out with approval of the minutes. You sent these out, correct? Okay. I need a motion to either approve or amend the minutes as sent out.
I make the motion we approve the minutes as written.
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh, Eric. We're going to start with introductions of who's here. We're going to start on that end. If you would, please state your name and your position.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name's Mark Harris. I'm the Brown Township trustee.
I am Jeff Cook. I'm with Mooresville Town Council.
Kirk Witt, Mooresville Town Council.
Joshua Brown, Mooresville Town Council.
Greg Swinney, Mooresville Town Council.
Eric Roberts, Brown Township Advisory Board.
Billy Snyder, Brown Township Advisory Board.
And I'm Tom Worthen with the Mooresville Town Council. We're going to start out with Jeff Bellamy. Jeff's kind of going to go over some of the guidelines for this evening's meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The first three sessions, I kind of turned around and looked like I was putting the moves here on your podium. That's because I wanted to face and address the public that was at the first three public hearings. We've had a lot of really good, robust testimony from folks for the proposal, for the fire department, against the tax increase, for greater study. I don't want, it's not a brag, it's not a boast. This is the fourth territory. I've worked on this territory season. If I counted them and it was 20, you'd say, okay. If it was 25, okay, maybe. At a certain point, you lose track. And would commend everybody that's come to these sessions that for the most part have kept it pretty civil, have kept it pretty on point, and given you, gentlemen, a lot to think about and consider at these sessions, and probably more so between these sessions. I'm certain that you don't take any of this lightly, and I'm certain that you've given this a ton of thought, because it's hard for anyone to feel like you've got to pick a winner or a loser. You've got to find a correct course and what way to go. As Mr. Chairperson said, we are here for a public meeting. If you recall in my little spiel of all three of the other sessions, we have 3 public hearings and 1 public meeting. Much like when I directed, this is not a district, this is a territory, and we often split those 2 back and forth. Same difference with the differences between a public meeting and a public hearing. No, a Coke and a Pepsi are not the same thing, but they're similar. The public hearing was the opportunity for the folks that attended those 3 sessions to come and present their testimony, their facts, their concerns, their interests to you, and you heard them. If it wasn't 10 hours of testimony, it was close enough to be 10 hours of testimony. That's very robust on any particular proposal. Not every unit or group of units does that. I think you're to be commended for your patience and your interest in wanting to hear from all walks for both units. Now, what we need to have, I mentioned in the first 3 sessions, we had to have certain things happen. We had to have those gentlemen, your fire administration, present the capital and personnel information. And they gave you their program, pretty much the same program each time. If you were here the first or the third or only the second, you heard pretty much the same information from them. And then the CPA's report. That was the same CPA report with the same fiscal information in it each time. None of that's changed. None of that is changing tonight. What I think is worthwhile for you to understand and to think on is, we touched on it in some of the Q&A and some of the meetings, is what this does is really 2 primary things. Whether or not you set a collaborative organization that will work together to help administer fire, and whether or not you're going to modify the maximum levy available to potentially tax against for fire. You are not, if you approve this, you are not automatically accepting that budget as presented. All you're doing is saying, DLGF, State of Indiana, we think it's necessary because of all we've heard from fiscal, from administration, to be able to go up to that. You can stair step up, you can do less. You cannot tonight say, I'd sure like to do more. That is not available to do. All you could do is up to that. For this to be approved, both units, as units respectively, not as a collection of the whole, have to have a majority of each. So you guys have to be unanimous, and I'm pointing to the Township Board. So we have to have 2 positive votes from the Township Board and at least 3 positive votes from the council. That's what we need to walk away with if approved. If one or the other does not have enough of those, we're done for the year. We don't communicate further with DLGF. We don't get any more information from the CPA. We don't have any contracts or resolutions or ordinances to sign. We've simply concluded. That doesn't mean that you can't have further collaboration through the summer and fall during budget season. That doesn't mean that these good people that came to present and talk at these hearings can't also come to future budget hearings. I've probably said this, may have said it at one of the hearings. I've been to some of your budget hearings. They can be awfully lonesome. And that's the time to come and talk about, as well as this. You know, how do we tackle this riddle of putting on fire for our community and putting on good EMS for our community? That's a place where you can continue this conversation if this is not ultimately successful. You just can't go to that increased levy. You have to live within your present levies. I'm happy to answer any procedural questions you might have. I want to facilitate that so you feel like procedurally you're getting the best guidance and the right path. But as far as the choice to go forward or not go forward, that resides with you gentlemen. So I'm sure either one of your chiefs would be happy to speak as well. But as far as new stuff, we had a lot of new stuff. We had 10 hours of new stuff. So tonight is the time for statements. If you guys want to talk to each other, but do it openly and in front of this group. And then I'm sure people will want to make statements, but I always say this. It's still a public meeting if there are no questions. So what will need to happen when the time comes, somebody's going to have to make a motion for one of the units. Obviously, if the township makes a motion, council, don't second it. If they make a motion, if the town makes a motion, don't second it. You guys go through your normal procedure. Motion second, call it to a vote. I would recommend you do a roll call vote so we don't get ayes and nays crossing, just aye or nay, down the line. Anything I can do for you, you let me know. I want to be helpful, but this is your program, and I want you to feel like you've gotten any procedural questions that you've held in your mind answered.
Any questions
You're welcome.
for Jeff?
I'd just like to point out to the township board that I do not have a vote in this. As being the township executive and our board being the legislative body, I do not have a vote in this. So I just don't want anybody to understand why I don't vote on this tonight, or if you don't see me voting on this, I can't vote on this. So I just don't want anybody to be concerned or not understand why I'm not voting, because I don't have a vote in this, other than I just have to, I'm the executive of the township. I take care of the day-to-day operations, but I'm not the legislative branch.
Mr. Bellamy, I'd like to thank you for your time and effort and energy that you put into this project.
I appreciate you saying that. I've not done 1/10 of what you guys have done, and I seriously, literally, 23 years ago when I was thin and fast, I started as a DMD, Indy Metro planner. I have sat through thousands of public meetings. I do sincerely commend the patience and effort you have put in. It's hard for everybody to wait and be patient. You have done, I think, an excellent job hearing from your community and doing beyond on notice to let them know that you wanted to hear from them. And Mr. Worthen, you said that at the beginning. It's the closest we'll get to a referendum. I think that's right. You reached out and sent notices and got the info out to people. So I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you, Mr. Bellamy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
I will start with the council board as far as comments. Jeffrey, do you have any?
First of all, I'd like to thank the public for showing out for this. The last couple meetings have been really good. I appreciate the correspondence back and forth through emails. Like we said, this is your guys' referendum. Heard them loud and clear.
It's not a referendum.
Well, it's not a referendum, but we've called it a referendum. Right. This is their referendum. We can't do a referendum. We know that. I feel that the way a lot of you guys do, I think we can be more transparent. By transparent, I mean there's other options available, whether they're more expensive, less expensive, or what that case may be. I don't know. A lot of you guys don't know. I need to educate myself. You guys need to educate yourself. I think we can do that by continuing talks with public meetings for the rest of this year and lead this into next. Options could be county EMS. We've got the territory that we've talked about here. We've got the district option. I think we need to put that all out there. I don't know if it needs to be done on a website where we can be have that accessible for you guys to look at and see what it looks like and see which option you guys like best. I'm only one vote up here. This brought a lot of heated conversations out, a lot of rumors, a lot of lies. I've heard a lot about our trustee Harris, and what I can tell you about him is he's done an outstanding job as your trustee. I've been around government since 1997 in this town in one fashion or another, and I can tell you that he has your best interest at heart. And I feel everybody on this panel does. But again, it's brought some heated conversations out, some things that are not true. There's been some questions about not a full Brown Township board, that I knew about it, that I've kept my boat at this member's house, which is not true. I've sold my boat last year, had no knowledge of anything. So there's a lot of heated conversations out there and a lot of rumors that are not true. My opinion is, and I stated last meeting, I'm the only member that came out early and said, hey, I'm a no vote. Actually, I said I'm a hard no, for the simple reason that there's more options available, and I think we need to sell them to the public. So my stance tonight is I'm a no. I think we need to continue looking into this, because I agree, something needs to be done. Something needs to be done, something has to be done, something has to be done soon. So the works need to continue on both sides, and go from there. But tonight I'll be voting no.
I've spent the last couple of months talking to citizens, business owners, getting emails. I've tried to respond to every email I've gotten. If I've missed one, I apologize. I was reading them up until about 15 minutes before I came here. Taking phone calls up to about 15 minutes before I came here. I heard people say, we've already made the decision. I don't know why I'm calling you, but I'm calling you. This has been going on back 30-some years, and it definitely needs to happen. But at this rate, I mean, by talking to the citizens, the business owners I've talked to, I mean, it can't happen at that rate. I mean, it just can't happen. It's just way too much. I mean, it needs to happen. We need to make it happen, you know, whether it's now or next year. I think we can wait until next year to try to get it, use a year to try to get something worked out, because I just can't approve that much money for our citizens and our business owners that I've talked to and everybody that's here. I just can't bring myself to do that with everyone that I've talked to. I mean, there's people for it. It's a no-win situation for any of us up here. We can't win. The firefighters deserve what they need it. They need it. We need to do what we can do for them. But the citizens also can't afford it. And the business owners, some of them, you know, telling me, you know, hey, that's going to really hit us. You know, it's going to hit our employees, going to hit, I mean, I've spent, I can't tell you how many hours talking to people, and it's going to be a hard thing for me to, I just don't think that I can support the way it's written now. I just think we need to step back, look at other options, and hopefully we can come up and get these guys the help they need and get both. I mean, we got the best ambulance service, I think, around, and I just think we need to get them together somehow, but I just don't think this is the way we can do it at this rate.
I'll kind of piggyback off Jeff and Kurt a little bit. First of all, I want to thank every single one out here, all the phone calls, all the text. I mean, it's been unbelievable. If I haven't gotten back to somebody, please, you know, my number's online, call me. I mean, I'd love to sit down and talk, but, you know, a couple things too, like going forward, I would like to see some people, you know, get on Gateway, check it out, try to come to our workshops for our budgets. I encourage you guys to do that. Our fire department, you know, this is not only in the future going to help our fire department, this will help our police department. That gives them more LOIT money. That, you know, there's a lot of, it helps in other areas. We didn't really address all that, but, you know, the last time this was brought up was in, I believe 2003 is the last time it's actually made it to the council. So I feel like we are making progress. I feel like we are kind of putting the cart before the horse. I like to explore a little more, see what our other options are. You know, we always kind of compare ourselves to Danville. Danville did this in 2023. They denied it, and yesterday they passed their territory. So we kind of maybe see what they done to make theirs, you know, more suitable and more for the public and more, you know, knowledge and see if we can eventually get this, find ways of helping our public safety. I wrote some things down, so. Again, I just, I can't thank you guys enough. It's been a hard decision, 1 minute you're this, 1 minute you're that, but then you get somebody's comments and you get somebody else's, and I'm thinking something else, and you put it all together, and then you gotta see the whole picture. I know our elderly people, it takes a big hit, but at the same time too, I kinda look behind. We got, nieces, grandkids, people that want to live in Mooresville, so we also have to look out for them. So going forward, I just think we need to figure out a solution to find the money, people get involved, and make sure we can see if we can get this territory maybe next year, but kind of kick it off a little sooner so, the public's here. But other than that, that's all I got. Thanks to all the firemen and, everything you guys do and continue to do. I know they're going to continue to do the service, because they still have a heart. We all do. So at this time, I'm going to vote no. And let's check our other resources, and hopefully we can come to a solution maybe next year or so.
Gregory?
Don't really have much to add because my colleagues have said everything I was going to say. Do appreciate you all being here. Proud of our community for showing up. I'm sorry we didn't get everybody at the first meeting. This was all kind of new to us. Gathering everybody. We know how to do it now. We know how to ring the bell and get everybody here. So I think it needs to be a year-long process, and I think you all need to be involved. We got some pretty smart people in our community. We got dedicated first responders. I can't think of I've had to use them, and they're exemplary. They're great people. I get to the office at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you hear them going down the street, going down 67, going to take care of somebody. They don't hesitate. They get up, they jump in their clothes, and they're gone. We do need to do more for them, and I think if we put our heads together, I think we can do that. We need this to come together, but I think it needs to be all of us more involved, and a longer process, and keep everybody interested, and keep everybody doing their research. And like I said, I'm proud of all of you for being here, and my vote at this time will be a no, because I just think we need to spend more time on it.
Me? Yeah. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out to the meetings, everybody involved with the board and the council for the efforts that have been put forward in this monumental task for the town of Mooresville and Brown Township, who have historically had some of the lowest tax rates in the state and in the county as well, even though we have one of the highest income taxes in the state, and we don't always see that money in our community. When the money comes to the county, it's kind of like at the state level or at the federal level. The state of Indiana has to go to the federal level to get our money back, our tax money back to our community. I'd like to see a little more effort on the county's part, getting some of that money that should be coming to us, back to us. I'm greatly in support of a territory from the standpoint of the fact that I hope someday, as a citizen of the town of Mooresville and a taxpayer in Brown Township, that when I need a firefighter or an ambulance to show up to my house, I can only hope and pray that there is one that comes to my house, and that it's not in Brooklyn or it's not in Monrovia, or coming up out of Martinsville. That's my hope. Someday we'll have good staffing that will be able to protect us as citizens, as well as provide the proper staffing that is necessary to, at the firefighter level, for a proper response on a house fire or a commercial fire here in our town. That or else we're going to have a lot of fish fries and sell a lot of trash bags. The input from the public has been great. I'd like to have further input from the public and how you would like to be notified, although all the legal avenues were followed in notification per state law and code. If there's a way you think you would like to be notified, please let us know. I know things move forward. Nobody really gets the newspaper anymore. I'm pretty sure everybody has some kind of internet, some kind of social media that they're involved with. Maybe not. Maybe that's too much technology for some people. I don't know. But, you know, Pony Express is long gone. So it's kind of a different world when it comes to notifications today, whether that be the newspaper, the internet, or just mailings. Yeah, I believe those mailings, those were above and beyond what was required by the state law. However, those could have been sent out a little sooner than what they were. I'm not exactly sure all the details that, as far as the timing and when those went out. I'm not sure what the numbers end up being on the amount of signers on the petitions that went around. Does anybody know what any of those numbers are? Anybody in the public have an answer to that question? Anybody from the county? I have it. How many petitioners were there?
Just real quick before I answer that.
Identify yourself, please.
Jason Cornwell. I live down here at the intersection. The last time I spoke, I had said the red blinking light was out. Made a joke. It's still out. So, as a red-blooded American, I'm somewhere between Ron Swanson and George Washington on taxes. Don't want it. I publicly came out against it. I took quite a bit of time individually speaking with a lot of these boys in blue, and what they do is unbelievable. And if I don't want to pay tax, I want to be very clear on this.
Mr. President, just to be fair to the rest of the public, I don't believe this
I was
is
gonna
time
say,
for them.
just
he
want-
asked you a very poignant question.
Do you know how many petitioners there were? That's the only question I had.
Say no to this. I hope everybody's going to get an application to help them.
Do you know the answer?
Required was 1,134 signatures on my part. There were other people that collected. I don't know what theirs were.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. We just don't want to violate
Right.
Title V on this.
Thanks for answering that question. Other than that, that's really all I have to say. There again, I just want to thank everybody for their input and the amount of work that's gone into this. And hopefully someday we'll be able to provide the service that's needed by the taxpayers and by the firefighters in the town of Mooresville and Brown Township.
I just want to thank everybody for coming and giving us the input. I was 100% in favor of this marriage, and I call it a marriage because if you put these two together, they're going to be working together. However, I did not want the increase that what the budget proposed. I think it needs to be renegotiated and brought back where we can have a median and maybe get this marriage started. That's it.
This is actually the first I've heard about this fire territory thing, to be honest with you. No, that's a joke. Everyone jumped in to help. For, against, maybe not sure, but everyone jumped in to help. It's been labeled as a money grab, and nothing can be more true. the state of Indiana sets out how we gather our money and how we can use it. And this is one of the ways to do it. We played by the rules. That's the way the state has us to do it. We don't have a way to build the Mooresville Fire Department with the levies that we have. They don't have a way to build the Brown Township Fire Department with the ways they have it. Something will have to be done. But I've said it before, the most accessible form of government is local government. We've heard you. A government doesn't operate without the trust and support of the people. Our fire department can't take on the task of a new department with the public against them, because they'll never do anything right. They'll get nitpicked to death, and everything that they do, every siren they blow is going to be wrong. And it would be wrong, in my opinion, to put that burden on our fire department. So we have ways to look at this and go a different direction, different uses, or different styles, but something will have to be done. And everything is going to impact taxes in one way or another, unless the state helps us. Unless the state comes back and says, we have other ways for you to raise revenues. So that's what I have to say about that. Mark, did you want to add anything?
Other than I just want to thank everybody for coming out again. I truly am thankful to see each and everybody here, because I think all of us believe in our town, and I think all of us believe in our local government, and we just want to do the right things for you. This isn't our agenda. Something has to happen with this fire department. I was hoping that we could get this done. I really do, because there is an urgency here. But are we going to make it through another year? We'll make it through another year. You will still receive the best quality care services that we can possibly give you from Brown Township Fire and EMS. Thank you. And I just want to say also thank you to our firefighters and our EMS crews on both departments that are here tonight. Thank you, guys. You know, I work with all of you each and every day. As a matter of fact, we just got off a fire scene at 5 o'clock today where both agencies were out. An elderly lady got displaced from her home by a fire. I was able to go out and help her with some financial assistance on the scene. And again, I work with these ladies and gentlemen from the fire service every day. I can't, they are angels on our shoulders. They really are. And as much, I'll do everything I can for them each and every day. But I also want the community to understand that they need your support and they need your help each and every day. And I know it's a hard bite sometimes to come off more money, because we just don't have the ways to fund it. Unfortunately, you fund it. And we have to have you in order to be able to fund these fire departments. It's not that we want to impose taxes on you. I am absolutely against leveling taxes on anybody. But the fact of the matter is we need them to be able to operate. So we'll get through this year. If the board is not going to vote for it tonight, we'll get through it, and you will still receive the same care and love from Brown Township and Mooresville Fire Departments and our employees. I promise you that as your trustee. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I need a motion from the Mooresville Town Council only on moving forward.
I make a motion that we not proceed with the fire territory as presented.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Second. We'll give that one to Josh. Motion made and seconded. We're going to do it by roll call. Jeff?
Aye.
Kirk?
Aye.
Josh? Aye. Greg?
Aye.
I'm an aye also. This meeting is over. We don't have to hear from Brown Township. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Second that in favor. I don't have one on me. I don't have it. Sure. Yeah, I'll give you I'll give you the office phone number.